Hey everyone, I'm the Monty Mole, and this is a dungeon guide for Sanguine Depths on Mythic difficulty. In this guide, I'll be covering Covenant bonuses and all the boss's abilities. If you are looking for a specific fight, I will make sure to include timestamps in the description below for you to skip ahead. Anyone with the Venthyr Covenant will receive an extra bonus in this dungeon. Throughout the dungeon, you will find these anima jars. Have your tank bring trash packs to the jars and smash them to receive a buff called Sinfall Boon. It gives you 5% increased damage and healing for 1 minute. It also stacks, so definitely take advantage of these if you see them. Krixus is the first boss in this dungeon, and he fights us on this cliffside. How convenient for him because he has a lot of knockback abilities, so make sure you don't find yourself on the edge. Krixus' first ability is called Vicious Headbutt, which chunks the tank and knocks them back. Just make sure to position yourself between Krixus and the wall and you should be fine. His next ability is called Hungering Drain. It has a long cast time and drains the essence from your group to give Krixus a stacking damage buff, so make sure you can kick this ASAP. Krixus will perform Juggernaut Rush, which targets a player, charging them and knocking them back. The damage can and should be split by your group, so anyone not targeted should stand in between Krixus and the lucky player to help split the damage. Lastly, Krixus will perform Severing Smash. This knocks all players back and splits an orb from your body. You need to intercept these orbs before they reach Krixus, as each one heals him. Just try to stagger soaking these because they do a good bit of splash damage, so watch everyone's health before popping them. Up next is Executor Tarvold. This fight takes place in this narrow corridor, and spacing can be a bit tight, so watch your step. If you can, try not to take a melee heavy group just to make it a little bit easier. Castigate is the first ability to watch out for, and it's a pulsing AoE debuff cast on someone that lasts 8 seconds. You need to move away from your group if you get this. Tarvold will also summon an ad to come help him. It's important to swap and DPS this ad down ASAP, because when he dies, he will drop a pool on the ground, and the longer he's up, the larger the pool is. The last mechanic to watch for, and the main thing, is Sin-Touched Anima. These are big red balls that rotate around the edges of the room in opposite directions. The trick here is that they rotate in the same order every time. Outside first, and then inside. This fight can be a bit tricky, so we had our tank constantly kiting the boss backward down the hallway to help with spacing. And then we made sure our DPS swapped to the ad as soon as it spawned. After a few tries, you will start to get a feel for dodging the red balls, as they often occur right after each other. I have a feeling this boss will be tough for pugs early on in the expansion, so stay patient because it may take a few wipes to get a feel for how these mechanics work. Kill the ad, dodge the balls, keep moving the boss. And that's all there is to it. Grand Proctor Borrelia is the third boss in this dungeon, and the first ability we need to watch out for is called Iron Spikes. She will cast 4 spikes in a row on the tank, each one dealing a good chunk of damage. So use a cooldown here to help out your healer. Endless Torment are these yellow swirls that you see on the ground, and bolts of holy light will land in them. Avoid these at all costs because they do a lot of damage and place a nasty dot on you for 12 seconds. The last ability is called Rite of Supremacy. This is a 10-second cast, and it does a ton of damage, so in order to mitigate this, you need to collect these fragments of radiance. 15 of them will spawn all around the room, with each fragment reducing the blast damage by 20%. So make sure everyone gets at least a few. That's pretty much it. You don't stand in swirls, don't hog the light balls unless you want to kill your friends, and pew pew the boss. The last and final boss in this dungeon is General Call. Right after you kill Grand Proctor Borrelia, you will find this big yellow shield up above. Have your tank or another member of your group pick it up, and it will give you an extra action button that will come in handy when fighting her. You will actually meet her in the hallway with some trash packs before you even get to fight her on the final platform. She will cast an ability that's called Gloom Squall. It's this huge giant wind that blows everyone back and will wipe you. So when she casts this, you need to make sure and use that extra action button and have everyone stand in the bubble to avoid taking the damage. Once you get through the trash, you will get to the platform and actually be able to fight the boss. Her first ability is called Wicked Rush. It marks 2 players, and she will rush to one of them and then the other. This does some splash damage and leaves a dot, so just spread out and stay away if you aren't marked. Next is Piercing Blur. Call will summon copies of herself on the edges of the platform that will shoot this big red anima beam, and the copies will fire the beam in the order that they appear, so if you pay attention and don't get caught in the beam, You can kind of time which one will go first and which one will go next. At 100 energy, Call will cast Gloom Squall. Remember we talked about this one already? Have your tank use that extra action button again and step inside the bubble to avoid getting blown off the platform. You should have had a bit of practice in the hallway before we got here, so it should be a piece of cake. And that's really all there is to Sanguine Depths. Thanks everyone for watching this guide. I hope it was helpful. And if you would like to see more videos, make sure to hit subscribe and follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Until next time, guys, peace.